everybody, how you doing? It's Jamie here, and I was feeling like I really wanted to share about my creative process, and I just can't take full credit for that. I have to give credit to my sister goddess, Jackie Albert Pepper, because a few months ago we had a conversation and she said, Jamie, you have to share about your creative process for putting the Soul-to-Sisterhood book together. So as you see, I've got papers and binders, and those of you who know me and have been in my office, you know that I've got floor to ceiling stacked binders and books. I kind of feel like that's just how I gather, make sense of, interpret, and basically create the information and the content for our book. So I want to talk to you about the creative process for doing the interviews. Now, the way that the book is going to be sort of structured is we're going to have a picture, and then you're going to read each goddess's story. Now, the Soul-to-Sisterhood book, and I have to give credit to this beautiful sister goddess, and FYI, she's actually holding the camera for me right now, Miss Nancy. The Soul-to-Sisterhood book is going to focus on 36 stories of 38 amazing women. I've kind of thought my mission statement or my tagline is, everyday women triumphing over extraordinary things every day, because we're all in this together, right? And the more that we can vulnerably share and authentically create a safe space of connection, the more that we can hold the mirror up for all of us and say, hey, I see you, I hear you, it is safe to be you because it's safe to be me, with gratitude, love, and sisterhood. So that's my intention for the book, and my hope is that this book is purely transitive, meaning that as we read it and as we share it, more people will be inspired to do the same. So how does it work for me to get these interviews that are all, roughly 1.5 to 2.5 pages? Well, believe me, all of these 38 women in this book, their lives could fill 38 million pages. So how do we simmer it down to something that's encapsulated in just 1.5 to 2.5 pages? Well, all the women that are in the book are women that I hold so dear to my heart. They're women who've been crucial to helping me become who I am today. And so I know a lot of their stories, and a lot of them I asked them to share a specific aspect of who they are, how they got to where they are today. Thankfully, they've all said yes, and they've agreed to be in the book. And what happens is there's an interview process, and the interview usually takes anywhere from, 50 minutes to an hour and 45 has been our longest one. Then I sit with that after I have audio recorded it, and what I do is I make transcripts. That's what this is. These are the transcripts. So as I write at my computer the transcript word for word of the interview, and mostly it's a monologue, I really don't have to ask too many questions. Those transcripts are roughly 11 to 16 pages. Like this one, I think. This one's pretty long, and you see this font is pretty small. What I start to do after I do that is I start to simmer it down and get really comfortable with the material. I know this material backward and forward. Most of you know that I'm an actor. I've been involved in theater, so I take it really seriously to really get comfortable and intimate with this content. And so I sit with this content, and then I start working with it. I start making notes. I'm looking for one that I've highlighted a lot. I start highlighting different aspects of the interview. I start pulling things out in the margins, and then I start crafting the beginning, middle, and ending of the story. So that is a process that takes really days. I would say about 2 weeks to create this first draft after the interview, into the transcript, into the first draft of the interview and the story that's going to go in the book. So I tell the ladies, I'm never going to change what you say. However, if we're not actively standing on stage to perform a story, beginning, middle, and end, we don't conversationally talk in that kind of cadence or rhythm or bullet-pointed running order either. It's just not natural, right? We kind of jump all over the place. Well, for the written word, for our stories must have a beginning, middle, and end, right? For it to kind of make sense and translate from the page into our consciousness. So that also takes quite a bit of time too, to sit with these stories and create this beginning, middle, and end, honing something down from 13 pages to like 2.5 pages, right? And then Jackie Albert Pepper, I have to give my sister goddess credit again. She said, Jamie, how are you going to let people know about our involvement in our stories? Well, how I'm going to do that is I'm going to share with you how this works. Every woman in the book has complete license over what is printed. Now, I get together with them and I read them their interview. Some have chosen to just hear it. Some have chosen to be able to work with the written word alongside me as I'm reading it to them. It's been a really beautiful mix of a lot of different ways that we go about dancing and collaborating with this material. But that starts the revision process. So I give each woman, hey, you have carte blanche. If you want to revise this, if you want to change a word, if you want to change a sentence, if you want to change the whole thing, let's do it together. Because my intention is the energy underneath this book. Everyone, all 38 women, have to feel so wonderfully empowered and authentic by their stories. That's the only way this book is going to create the magic and transformative healing momentum that is my intention. So, are these stories my interpretations? Heck no. If they were, I would have taken the interview and done it my own way and never called them or texted them and said, I want to hear your feedback. But each woman has gotten together with me to change, modify, revise their story in a way that it feels very authentic to them. So that's where we are with the interviews. That's the process. And it's a malleable, I would say, day-by-day experience. I still have ladies getting in touch with me via text, email, phone call saying, hey, you know that one part in my story? I think I want to change this, or I want to add this. And I'm totally open to that because this is about us authentically sharing, holding the mirror up for ourselves and for everyone else that we are not alone. Because we aren't. We always have each other. And the Soul-to-Sisterhood book is just one more tool in our backpack of sisterhood to remind us that we are connected, we are valued, we are loved, we are interesting, we are capable. We are magical medicine women, and we need each other, and I need you. Thank you so much. Namaste.